Hi everyone, this is 14th of April 2026 and this is Ambedkar Jayanti. So wishing you all a very happy Ambedkar Jayanti. Okay, so this is the text and context page of the Hindu. So rise in the middle class vulnerability. So there has been rise in the vulnerability of the middle class. So that is what we are going to discuss here because this will be important from the perspective of GS paper 1 and GS paper 3. Okay, so India is lifting its people out of income based poverty but not moving them ahead for better upward mobility and the economic opportunity. A World Bank policy paper proposes shifting welfare analysis from merely counting those below the poverty line to measuring how far people are from a reasonable standard of living. Sorry. Okay, so let us discuss this. So, amid rising geoeconomic uncertainty that risk deepening domestic inequality in emerging market economies, India's microeconomic performance is still widely seen as a story of progress, with its recent growth model often held up as a success in reducing poverty and by conventional measures that claim does hold with its caveats. The share of Indians living below the World Bank's lower middle income poverty line has fallen sharply from over 50% a decade ago to roughly 30% in recent estimates. Welfare programs through improved last mile distributive connectivity now reach hundreds of millions through subsidized food, direct transfers, and financial inclusion. Hence, extreme deprivation may have declined amongst the vulnerable groups. Okay, so extreme deprivation that was earlier seen because of the lack of connectivity, lack of financial inclusion, lack of subsidized food availability to those vulnerable groups now which is which is decline. Okay, yet this narrative rests on a narrow question. Poverty lines tell us whether people have crossed a threshold of subsistence. They do not tell us what lies above that threshold or whether it offers a meaningful pathway forward. Now, well-being as a spectrum, that limitation has long been recognized. What is more recent is the attempt to move beyond it. World Bank policy paper proposes a different way of thinking about welfare, one that does not simply count how many people fall below a line, but ask how far people are from a reasonable standard of living. Instead of a binary classification,